All right, so apparently we're live. Again, not really digging the new streaming software, but then again, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. What is up, Jeromes? Welcome back to the daily live stream. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day out there to those who celebrate. Thank you for making us part of your day. We got some Q&A. We got some various talking points. It's going to be a good time had by all, as well as, so got to plug this at the beginning. So Producer Al has been a rock star. We revamped our support page. So purplefdw.com/support. All the various ways that you can support the show. We got some great sponsors, as well as you get yourself some great discounts and really improve your life. They're all products and stuff that I use and I personally recommend. So check that out, purplefdw.com/support. All the various ways that you can help yourself, as well as keep the ship afloat. Always a good time there. All right, so check that out. It's also the top line, the first link in the show description on all the live streams. There you go. So that's out of the way. What's going on today? All right, so the Big 12 canceled football on the heels of the Big 10, which, okay. So it's a legitimate question, and of course we try to stay out of politics here, but it really doesn't make sense to me. So all these universities, like every single school in the Big 10, every single school in the Big 12, in a couple of weeks, actually very soon, are going to be welcoming in thousands, tens of thousands of students to the campus, with not the level of testing and contract tracing that you would have in a football setting, as well as it's not like these football players are just leaving school. They're still going to be in classes, as well as they're still going to be training. They're still going to have access to all the facilities. So basically what you're saying is it is unsafe for a quasi bubble of, say, 100 people, 150 people with support staff, to travel for a football game on Saturday and then travel back. That's basically what you're saying. That's basically what schools are going to do, and completely cut off their nose and spite their face, and just cost the conference and these various schools millions of dollars. And also these college athletes the opportunity to show off their wares and chase the dream of becoming an NFL player. That's what you're telling me. So it's just, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. It just doesn't. And it is extremely hypocritical on a number of levels, notably, the students coming back to campus, because you got to crank in that tuition money, right? You have to keep doing that. Just giving out worthless degrees and having kids graduate with $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 in student loan debt. Yeah, you got to keep doing that. It's all a scam. It just is. But anyways, happy Wednesday. Here talking Vikings, as well as some Q&A. So, and we'll do some shouts here in a second. So the add-on question is, what current Vikings are on your Vegas crew? Now this was inspired by Captain Munderland. So it did come out that apparently Captain maybe had a marker in Vegas. Maybe some friends were involved. Maybe things got crossed up. So hopefully Captain isn't broke, because that would just suck. It just would. I mean, he literally stopped playing football 2 years ago because he was in camp with the Bills. But, of course, you don't get game checks if you're just in training camp. So, I mean, 2018, he was cashing some cash with the Panthers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, meant Pac-12. Whatever. Yeah, Big 12 still playing. They just released their schedule, but then again, the Big 10 just released their schedule a week ago. So, also, how'd you like to be Kevin Warren? So there are some Vikings tie-ins here. So Kevin Warren was, I forget his specific role for the Vikings, but like chief legal officer, something like that. And then he becomes commissioner of the Big Ten. And now he's hit with this completely unprecedented global pandemic, as well as a number of these school presidents who are just completely scared of football. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, here we go. Buck Waller, Joe Webb would thrive in the Raven system, don't at me. I mean, he would. I mean, if you put Joe Webb in the mix with Lamar Jackson, RG3, you're good to go. I mean, their third quarterback right now is Trace McSorley, who was a bit of like a hybrid uber athlete quarterback from Penn State. There's been some talk that before the draft that teams would switch him to wide receiver or potentially defensive back. But I mean, yeah, Joe Webb would just be a nail driver. All right, so who would be on your Vegas crew? So for me, I don't know. Since I'm an older guy, definitely out of the Vegas partying strip, get the yard of pina colada with the extra shot of Everclear for $9. I'm definitely out of that mode. I was never really big into the club scene, so I was never really about that either. For Vegas, I'm about putting down a jelly bean, winning the day a little bit, as well as fine dining. Vegas is obviously a great high-end fine dining crowd. Maybe get some Louis the 18th. I don't know. I if you do well, I don't know. Have a nice cigar. So let's see here. Who would be chill? I feel like Harrison would be chill AF. I feel like Daniil would be chill. A lot more chill than his age. I feel like Shamar Stephan is one of the more elder statesmen of the team. I feel like he'd be good. Just hang out, have a nice steak, have a nice cognac. Be good. I think that Kirk and Thielen and Rudy are too much of a dad, even though that's obviously my demo too. But, too many dads together, it's too much dadness. It is. God, who else? Well, I would have picked Steve Weatherly. Like, Steve Weatherly is super fascinating, super intelligent, and introspective guy. I think he would have been good. But, nah. All right. Let's see. Into the question. So, Stanley Maros, he's bringing Harrison, Hercules Mataafa, Kendricks, Kirk, and Dom Capers. Harrison because he is quiet, calm, sleeper child with the ladies. Probably Rain Man-ish to help count cards. Kendricks or Hercules because he's Rain Man. I don't know. Kendricks is going to be my bro. Hercules because of the name alone. Kirk for the bankroll. And Dom Capers because we'll need an old man to make sure we don't pull the hangover. Yeah, some of these questions, not like the content, but it's weird how they just get caught off. But it's not a bad crew. Dom Capers makes sense. Or God, I wonder if Kubiak would be fun in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe not. Nah. World War II General Vince Vaughn. Side note for everyone, it doesn't get talked enough how addictive porn is. Seriously, I believe it's led some terrible traits in generations like mine who've had more access and better quality. Yeah, you don't really think about it, but maybe it's one of those correlation as opposed to causation things. But I remember, so I was coming of age, pun intended, roughly around when the internet really started taking off. So the way that it's transformed is like crazy. And I think that it is a little bit too easy, especially for young men, to get really jaded, just get really bogged down into the world of, say, artificial stimulation, we'll say. So that does include pornography. That does include video games. That does include everything. So, I mean, I feel like obviously everything is entertaining, but the whole everything in moderation definitely comes into play because I think too many young men specifically just really burn out their brain and just really burn out their dopamine sensors where like there's too much pleasure available all the time, and life just isn't like that. And you think how many guys, the cliche is down their mom's basement playing video games, just jerking off all day. I feel like that really does impede things that make you happy in life. Having a good relationship with a significant other, having a family, if you decide to have kids, and just getting out and experiencing life as opposed to just sitting in front of a monitor all day and having some simulation of a life. Like, this isn't the Matrix. This is real life. This might be the Matrix. But yeah, I haven't done like a ton of research, but I'm sure that there's some people where porn has actively ruined their life, both men and probably some women as well. Stanley Maros. Also, so Adam Carolla brings up an interesting point. It's like, why do they keep making porn? Because you think that everything's been done, right? Especially since the advent of more high quality cameras, and so you're not actually in like a studio anymore, like say it was in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Hasn't everything been done like over and over? But Stanley Maros, who's winning a fight, Stephen Hawking or Christopher Reeve's post horse? Stephen Hawking, because he's alive. Wait, is Stephen Hawking alive? Because Christopher Reeve died, right? Oh, he died too. Stephen Hawking will outsmart Christopher Reeve. 1,000%. Pulford Skull. I don't gamble or care for bars. Now, if it's pool parties and dancing, I'm down for that. I take Hitman, Thielen, and Rudy. I understand the Harry, but pool parties and dancing, I don't know. When you look at Thielen and Rudy, like, that doesn't, especially Rudy, that doesn't strike you as dudes with rhythm. Mo Abdul 99. Skullquit, Irv Smith, Afadi, Barr, Mike Hughes. I got so turned he threw up out of the car, and Jefferson. That's actually a good point about Hughes. Except every group that's going out to party has one dude who, or one lady who just cannot hold their booze, or they do not maintain. And I don't know if that's good. But also, sometimes it can be good because you, by comparison, seem like you're actually in control and actually maintaining. So I don't know. Maybe it is good to always have someone who crosses the line. Habitual line stepper. There you go. Next up is Luke K. Afadi, Pierce, Hunter, Harris, Harrison, Kyle Hunt. Everyone's coming. The entire rooster. The entire rooster is going to Vegas. Actually, that is some concern about the Vegas Raiders, where I think that the team specifically, I eventually you get numb to Vegas, all right? But like you talk to the Las Vegas resident, like they're not going out to the Strip every single night. They're just not doing this. So you just get sort of used to it, get sort of jaded a little bit. But also, I'm concerned about teams flying in the day before. Right? Like, yes, you can do your best to keep the team in the hotel, bed checks, all of that stuff. But like specifically, say you're on the Lions. Like, just I don't know if the Lions play in Vegas anytime soon, but say you're specifically the Lions and you're in the midst of a 1-11 season and it's not great. Things aren't going well. You're on a 1-year deal. You're not going to be back anyway. This team's a dumpster fire. Coaches already been fired. You're already on your second interim head coach. And you're telling me that you're just going to be really, really good. You're going to stay in your room at the Luxor, which is right next to the stupid stadium, as opposed to going out in the Strip, going out to Tau, going out to XS, going out and just winning the day. Please, child, please. Come on. You know those windows open? Next up is, it's been a minute. I've only been able to listen on demand lately. The guy in the live chat yesterday was a douche. Yeah. So someone email producer Allie, because I need to get a live chat moderator because when I'm talking and like looking up really stupid things, I don't get to it enough. But yeah, we need someone to marshal in. So someone who's on the stream, every day and doesn't mind doing it, I'll give you powers. So let me I don't know my producer's email off the top of my head. All right, here we go. Nailed it. All right, so putting in right now. Don't send spam. But yeah, if you want to be a moderator, email in, let us know what your screen name is too, and then we'll think about it. Yeah, because we try to keep things extremely apolitical here. It's not always easy, but yeah, I always figure that there's much better outlets. Like if you really want to get your politics on and just really start old man yelling at moon sort of, or yelling at cloud sort of deal. So I understand, especially what's going on in my home city, especially what's going on nationally with the election coming up. It's going to be tough. But I know why you came here. I definitely don't want to be like one of those asshole media members that are just like, oh, it's the bait and switch. Oh, we're here to talk football. No, just kidding. Just cram down all my ideology on you, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. No, I respect you guys too much. I respect your time too much to do that. So we're going to talk football and like beef jerky here. That's what we do. Yeah. Next up. If you just want to run more revenge factor against the Lions, that took Slaughter as a backup. Ow. There you go. Nick Doroff. I'll go with Thielen, CJ Ham, Afadi, and Kendricks. I feel like they're too chill. Like all four of those guys. Afadi has some fun. But those four guys, super chill, super reserved. I don't know, man. Which Vikings player would host the best Thanksgiving? Well, Michael Pierce is the easy answer, but we'll take him off the table. It might be a Fadi. A Fadi, like if you follow him on Instagram, he definitely likes to get after it in the food department. But obviously he works his ass off too. But also, I think that Fadi's well-traveled. I think he's very worldly. I think that he'll have some really interesting Thanksgiving dishes that come from other countries, other cultures. Well, not other countries with Thanksgiving, but other like fall-inspired dishes have really interesting stories behind them. I think they'd be good. Plus, I bet he can cook. Actually, who'd be the best chef on the team? Ironically, it's not Dalvin. I don't know. I have to think about that one. Charlie Boltman. I really like Fadi. I really like his film going all the way back to Northwestern. However, what are the chances he doesn't flourish this year and just had a Tom Johnson season last year? Right situation, right place, right time. I think it's possible, but also just like the work that he's put in, as well as if they do see him as the replacement at the right defensive end spot, I think that's always been his home. Even though he clearly succeeded in the interior last year. But that's where he did his best work in Northwestern. That's where he's done his best work in Vikings preseason. So if the plan is to have Fadi as your full-time starting right defensive end, I think that he'll have a phenomenal year. If Everson does come back, which one of the two is used more in the situational inside third down passing Tom Johnson role? Everson. I think Everson would. I think that's potentially the holdup as well, as that Everson is coming back to a situation where his role is not reserved for him, because you do have a Fadi emerging, you do have Wanham and Lynch in the mix, you have Willekes, so Everson won't step in and just be a starter and play 70% of the snaps, 60, 70% of the snaps like he's done. So I think that if he understands he's still a team leader, still a team first guy, and he takes on that late career Brian Robinson-esque role, where when Brian Robinson stepped aside, when he knew that, hey, 99, Daniil, you're ready to go, man. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to play a reserve role. I'm going to play interior. I'm going to play a stand-up linebacker some plays. I will go wherever the team needs me. I will take a pay cut. I will be that guy. I think if Everson goes down that road, I think that'll be a massive win for everyone involved. Next up is... Eric Hansen. I love watching live, but sometimes have to watch on demand. Either way, I thought that was going to be one of those, I love watching lives, but sometimes I don't, because F yourself. Either way, I like to watch Pat McAfee show after you. Ooh, it's high praise. Love me some Pat McAfee. On Tuesday's show, he had cornerback Darius Butler as a guest. Darius referred to Adam Thielen, even without Diggs, as a top-tier wide receiver in catching, route running, and savviness. Is Thielen better than we think? I think he's at least top 10. They also mentioned Juju without AB is not the same class as Thielen without Diggs. Ooh, Michael Thomas simply products around paid system. I need to go check that one out, because I think all of those points are astute. But yeah, Thielen, does like race and novelty play a little bit into it? I'm sure. We talk about the white wide receiver. We talk about the white running back. Sure. But I mean, Thielen, you do have to respect, coming out of Mankato State University Community College and working his way up from the practice squad, playing special teams. He has developed, watch Adam Thielen run routes. He is one of the cleanest route runners in the NFL. And if you talk to any wide receiver coach, any wide receivers play the game, or any cornerbacks like Butler here, they will understand, respect. There is no wasted motion. He's a very gifted athlete to begin with, which I don't think wide receivers always get that time of day, but he's an extremely gifted athlete. He works his ass off at his craft. There's no wasted movement or momentum. There's moves and countermeasures and everything like that, and he just gets separation. That's one of the things that I think we'll miss most about Diggs and Thielen, is that I actually think that their partnership, they made each other better, and there's a lot of similarities in that they're both plus athletes, and they both worked extremely hard at route running, and they're both, for me, I mean, Diggs and Thielen together are both top 5 route runners in the league. You look at who are some of the cleanest route runners in the league. You put Nuke up there. Gosh, who else would I put up there? I would put Amari Cooper. I know a lot of people wouldn't. So I would put Amari up there, as well as, I'm trying to think. Put OBJ up there. Sure. But just absolute clean freak route runners. Antonio Brown was one, but I don't know anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Michael, I love that the world is waking up to that Michael Thomas is an absolute clown show, because like some of the memes from like NFL memes and Ghetto Gronk are just absolutely astute on Michael Thomas, because he is put Michael Thomas anywhere else, or put any top 10 to 20 ish wide receiver in Sean Payton's system, you get the same results. You just do, right? And yeah, Thielen will not go down the Juju without AB route. If anything, Thielen's AB. Maybe Diggs the Juju. I don't know. Westworld. Why do you think guys along the defensive line, such as Johnson and Holmes, have failed to develop despite having one of the best position coaches in the league? Well, I think Jaleel. I think Jaleel doesn't get enough credit. He really did have a nice transformative third season. He played the most nose tackle snaps of returning Vikings players, as well as he put up 3.5 sacks last year. So I think that, frankly, he benefited the most from the Michael Pierce opting out. I think he will be the day one starting nose tackle, which will be interesting. Also, hey, let us know where you're watching from, so then we'll give a couple of shout outs. Always enjoy doing that. I'm really good at talking, Dave. I'm just really good. You guys are. So Andrew, Miss Laura, you guys are doing great. This is a great escape from the politics BS. Yeah, I figure that it really is everywhere. And, if we just have like an hour together, but really like 42 minutes together, just to chill, talk football, talk silly things. I mean, people need that, man. You can't be on the glass 24/7. It will just wear you out. What was the other question? Oh, Holmes. I don't know about Jalen Holmes. Like, I wasn't thrilled about the pick to begin with. So when Jalen Holmes, all right. So when Jalen Holmes was taken 4th round 2018 draft, I wasn't over the moon. I just really wasn't. All right. So Jalen Holmes, top of the 4th round, and he played primarily defensive end, Ohio State, respect. He was a team captain, team leader, but he was constantly overshadowed by the Bosa brothers, Sam Hubbard, etc. So I wasn't really a position of need, because he still had Pete Everson, he still had Danilo, of course, was rising up. So this did seem like okay, is he going to play edge? Is he going to play inside? I don't really know. And obviously, year one, they didn't really know either. They kicked him inside at 3 tech last year. They thought he was going to be the next great thing. But then he didn't get the time of day. Just was not really a factor. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll actually ever happen either. Next up is World War II General Vince Vaughn. Nothing against Jordan Love and everything gets back. Oh, sorry. So Patterson. Patterson can only do so much, and there's a really interesting thing. So before the draft got fully, like, everything like private investigator, like you're running for political office, just like, what about 7th grade when you stole Betsy Sue's eraser from her Lisa Frank notebook? What about that potential first-round pick? Where, well, hell, even this applies now. So once coaches got a player on the field, they could tell immediately if that guy was going to be a dude or not, right? And sometimes you can do all the work you want, you can do all the film, you can bring in for interviews, you can talk to everyone, squeaky clean off the field, but sometimes you just get them on the practice field for the first time up against your other hosses that have already been through the trials and tribulations of being an NFL player, first time against man-sized competition, and you just know if they have it or no. And that could be one of those cases. World War II General Vince Vaughn. Nothing against Jordan Love and everything against the Packers. What if Aaron Rodgers goes to another team, wins Super Bowl, Niners, then Jordan Love turns into a bust, and they have to start over? I would be okay with that. Like, I will sacrifice my love and respect for Jordan Love for the Packers to break their streak of 3 decades of quarterback privilege. I will. Plus, I mean, if Rodgers wins a Super Bowl with the Niners, I'll actually be okay with that. Like, the story, the pride of, God, where is he from? I know he went to Butte Community College. He went to some jabroni Northern California town. It's got a weird name too. Aaron. Oh, Pleasant Valley, Chico, California. There you go. Where is Chico? NorCal. Is that near Sacramento? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I want to see Aaron Rodgers in community college. Aaron Rodgers. Butte. Yeah, man, look at that. Looks like he's playing at Vanderbilt. Good times. Look at that jabroni. That messy hair. He looks like the sixth Beatle. He played tambourine. Like, hey, we don't think it's gonna work out. Yeah. But I actually, even though the Niners beat the Vikings in the division round, I actually don't have that big of an issue with the Niners. Just really don't. Yeah. All right. What's next? A couple shout-outs. Zach Balla, Skull from NoCo. What's going on? Jabrisky, Skull from Chempalo. See here. I Do Basketball, St. Paul, Skull. What's going on? Lucas Kofel, Skull from everyone's favorite city, Kirksville, Missouri. Actually, let's give a couple shout-outs to Kirksville. See, over under 8,500 population. I'm going to say, well, I saw. So 1,700, 17,000. Northern Missouri, which is basically just Iowa. Kirksville. Notable people. Oh, wow, that's actually long. Alex Linder, white supremacy leader and owner-operator of Vanguard News Network. It's a website launched in 2000. Website launched in 2000 off of like Windows XP. Good times. Robert Taylor. I got excited for a second. I thought that was Robert Traylor. Pride of University of Michigan. RIP, by the way. Great power forward. The guy was like 6'3", 280 pounds. Actually, we need to look up Robert Traylor. At 6'9", 290. Bullshit. Baloney, he was 6'9". But yeah, I mean, he was great on Michigan. It was because it was Robert Traylor and Maurice Taylor. And they had a good guard. I can't remember who that was. But Robert Traylor was fun, man. So he passed away in 2011, Puerto Rico. Had a heart attack. Aw, it's really sad. Yeah, but Robert Traylor will get a picture up. Man, he was a dude. Look at that. Looking like Oliver Miller out there. Also, those Bucks jerseys, they were good. Like those Bucks, the Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen type era, they're good. Bucks got the 1 seed in the East. Hopefully they do something good. Hunter Williams, Skull from Forest City. Sorry, I don't know how we got on that. Jerome Shalom, Detroit Lakes go crazy. What up? Way up north. Tim Forcine, up in the Iron Range. What's going on? Tyler Canaday, Skull from Central Illinois. Thoughts on Trey Wayne's injury? Will slightly amuse. It's going to void his contract, and then the Vikings will sign him in like 2 months. Preach Paul, hauling out for y'all. What's up, Jeromes? Rolling through Whitehall, Montana. Sorry, Andy. Oh yeah, because I love Montana. What's up? I Do Basketball. Traded for Dirk. Oh, he was, wasn't he? Man, I used to love the NBA. It was good times. All right, what's up next? Let's see here. Actually, Are we not taking up the entire screen? Oh well. Next up is Big Grover. I'm gonna go with Fred Smoot and Captain Motherland. They probably know some things about Vegas I never knew existed. Like that will be one for the record books. You may end up arrested. It's crazy. Vince Vaughn, I'm giving my money's worth. Questions of the day. My Vikings player will be Ant-Man because he can cover the tab for the whole trip. Now, is this Anthony Harris or like Ant-Man Paul Rudd? Like he would shrink down and then like steal the 25K Bellagio chips, the cranberries, and then just like magically like they disappear and then they just show up. Although they're microchips, so I don't know. Yeah. Charles Boltman, Skullquit, Eric Hendricks, Anthony Barr, James Lee. Yeah, I bet you Skullquit would quietly or sneakily just be awesome to party with. Chris Boyd and Garrett Bradbury. I was on the set of Skolquit's viral commercial when he was with the Browns, and I have something in common with the other two because I'm a California guy. Live in Austin, Texas, North Carolina. Regulators mount up. It's pretty cool. Never saw the Skolquit commercial. Should look that up. Commercial. Power Home Solar. All right, well, get some volume on this. Hey, how'd you get your YouTube channel shut down? Oh, we watched a commercial about a punter. Because there are people too. Let's get some volume on there.
Hey guys, why are you so excited?
No.
Hey, by switching.
I can't wait till they retire the floss. Because what's that from? Minecraft? No, it's from the shooter game.
The Power Home Solar, I'm saving tons of money, and the Browns are dancing again.
I'm dancing to all the money I'm gonna save this month.
Wow, I want to dance like
yeah,
that.
like you're paying
I need
the
to
bill
get
with
Power
it.
Home Solar now.
Wow, Britton, look at you.
Man, you're getting down like the dog pound.
Coach,
You know
Christian,
that Britain-
getting Power Home Solar was
You know that Skolquit was showed how to do the floss dance like 30 seconds before they started filming. The kid was like, just do this.
the best thing I ever did. Watch this.
With Power Home Solar, you save money and help
Why is
save
there
the
a talking
planet.
dog?
You also dance incredibly well and can punt the ball out of the stadium.
With our American-made products, you get a 30-year warranty, incentives to save
This guy looks like Freddie Kitchen's illegitimate son. Jason, more like Freddie Jr.
money, and keep Ohio and our planet green.
Visit powerhome.com or text solar to 411-411.
Wait, keep Ohio green? You'd have to be green in the first place. Please. That was a good commercial. I do love like local commercials where they're just so random and over the top because they're watched by like 4 people on like Fox 9.4. that was a good ad. I like that one. See what else. Andrew Hansen. I know NFL MVP is a glorified quarterback award, but who do you think could be league MVP that is not a quarterback? Vegas Crew, Daniil, O'Neal, Zim, and Skolquit. Well, some running backs have won it, notably Adrian. It's tough for a wide receiver to win it. Basically, a wide receiver can win if your quarterback is either really bad or there's an injury somewhere in the middle of the season. Repair. But running backs, Dalvin, Zeke, McCaffrey, certainly been in the mix. Defensive player, like if it set the sack record, a team makes the playoffs, probably in that mix. All right, let's see here. Oh, everyone's saying Fortnite. All right. All right, so Lamar Jackson. Adrian 2012, respect. 0506, John Alexander, Ladanian. It basically is a quarterback running back award. 86, Lawrence Taylor, edge rusher. It wasn't a linebacker, it's an edge rusher. Get out of here. So the strike season, Mark Mosley, Washington professional football team kicker, just because everyone wanted to be funny. Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen before Al Davis had his unholy like vendetta against him. It's okay. Otis Anderson. So Otis Anderson won NFL MVP when he was with the Cardinals, and they were just ass atrocious. And then eventually his career went on, and then he hooked up with Parcells and the Giants when he was known as O.J. Anderson, and helped win them that Super Bowl. Really cool. Oh, Archie Manning, former Vikings legend Archie Manning. So Archie Manning was the quarterback of the Vikings in '84. He's only 6 years removed from being NFL MVP. Woo! What a get. What a get. Sweetness won back-to-back. Oh, Tark, 75. There you go. OJ won twice. Alan Page, defensive player. Now, how'd you like to be? Now, not only a defensive player, but a defensive tackle. Just getting it. Like Aaron Donald can suck ass. Alan Page, the judge, is the man. It's fun going back. It's fun going back because you know some of these names, but it's interesting when you like place them. So Norm Van Brocklin, NFL MVP. He was actually the first head coach of the Vikings, not Bud Grant. A lot of people don't know that. He was terrible head coach. He was not good. Tarkenton hated him. Like Paul Hornung. Like, so everyone hears the name Paul Hornung. Like, oh, a Packers golden boy, the jabroni who wore number 5. Wear a normal running back number, you ass. Also his days at, like, Notre Dame. Yeah. I just said Notre Dame, like, extremely Minnesotan. It was good. You know, YA titties. All right, next. Let's see here. Armin 13. Kirk Smith.
So Harrison?
O'Neal Mannion. Seems random, but just think about it. I don't think Mannion would be a lot of fun. Well, I don't know. The backup quarterback job is always, to me, like a relief pitcher. Well, but also, like, Sean Hill. You guys remember Sean Hill? Backup quarterback for the Vikings, was originally like a 2005 UDFA out of Maryland. And then he came back, was a backup around the league. I think he started for some of the Lions teams, but he just seemed like a guy from Kansas, from rural Kansas, who was perfectly fine hammering those backup quarterback checks, not giving an F. Probably enjoys a cold one or 6 on occasion. Just having a good time. Like, I would party with Sean Hill. I don't know about Mannion. Stanley Morris. If you had to rank the teams by culture of organization, who would be your top 5, bottom 5, and which team would be smack dab in the middle? Let's see. All right, so Vikings I'll put in the top 5 in no particular order. I would say Vikings. All right, so top 5 Vikings. Put the Colts top 5. Put the Steelers. Put the Panthers. I feel like David Tepper, Matt Rule, just going to do a phenomenal job there. Also, I mean, it's not like Ron Rivera had a toxic culture. I mean, the Richardson ownership was but Rivera actually ran a pretty good ship. And I would say, that's your culture. I'd say the Niners. You know, give credit where it's due for Lynch and Shanahan, a.k.a. Gary Kubiak taught him everything they knew. Gary Kubiak was actually an assistant on the Niners back before he left to Denver to go with Shanahan, the elder. So those would be my top 5. Bottom 5, I'd say Detroit. Yeah, Detroit would be at the bottom. Actually, I think the Cowboys might be on the bottom as well. Chargers for sure. Like the Spanos owners are just train wreck, atrocious. They they don't have AJ Smith anymore as their general manager. He's been gone for a while, but I mean no. Yeah, talk to any NFL agent and which team is the worst to work with. They'll say the Chargers, hands down. I'll be the first. Let's see who else has a bad call. Well, I'll put the Chiefs having a good culture too. Seahawks up there. There's a lot of good locker rooms and cultures. Let's see your worst. Jets. Browns, but they're improving. I'd say the Bengals are on the bottom. Absolute prime meridian. I don't know, the Titans. Sure. There you go. Westworld, favorite dog breed. All classes of Yorkies are underrated IMO. So, I don't have any real strong feelings about dog breeds. See, the dogs that we've had recently. So we had a fox terrier that just passed away. We have a long-haired Chihuahua who's never going to die because he's the man. He's a rock star. He's a little bit whiny sometimes, but I know that Chihuahuas can live to be excessively old, like 20. I don't know. If we got another dog, I would probably get a larger breed. Maybe like a golden lab. I know the Great Danes temperaments are like super chill, but that's so big and that's a lot of work. What else is good? Mastiff. Get an Irish wolf dog or whatever they're called. I'm starting to warm up to pugs. I always thought that they were kind of like whatever, but pugs are really cute. I mean, they are. All dogs are cute. Let's be honest here. Josh Newman. I'll take some cheerleaders to Vegas with me. Ethan Griffith. Mike Hughes, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, Dalvin Cook, and Hefe Gladney. A good mix of ages, money, but some super chill guys. Who is your favorite Jerome? I don't think I have a favorite. Like, I have disdain for all of you equally. It's one of those things. Now, you can't pick a favorite. I mean, it's a great community, and every single person involved helps, contribute to that. So I can't pick a favorite. Ethan Griffith. Oh, yes, that one. Wait, was that fishing for trying to get me to say that you're the favorite? Yeah, you're. Zach Ballas. You have some pretty good Excel skills. Where'd you pick that up? I do not have good Excel skills. I can type things into a sheet and then change their color. But if you ask me to do like formulas or anything like that, no. Zach Ballas, since I'm married, man, not much of a gambler. Well, you did get married. Probably Kirk Cousins. We'll figure out some PG stuff to do. Actually, Vegas is a super family-friendly town. I'm not talking about just circus, but I mean, there's a lot of very kid-friendly shows. There's a lot of like things to do just as a family, and also like just seeing the sights like the Bellagio fountains. The Ferris wheel is phenomenal as well. Taking them to downtown Vegas. The Fremont experience, that's really good. Also, there's there's a place that does like the indoor skydiving. That's really cool. That's great. There's a lot of good places in Vegas. You go Red Rocks and go hiking for the day if it's not too hot. Next up, Django Popcheck. Oh, you can go to the lake too. Really good. There's a lot of things you can do in Vegas. Django Popcheck. Any lineman for the intimidation factor. I guess specifically O'Neal, Afadi, Samia, and Hunter. Pick your favorite number 24. Champ Bailey, Revis, Woodson, Ty Law. My favorite, Robert Griffith. I'd say Revis. Love and respect Champ Bailey. Woodson is all-time great, except F him. Well, he didn't wear 24 with the Packers, though. He wore 21, so I guess he's got that going over. But Revis was... I love Revis because Revis did not apologize for who he was, and he was always straight up and up front. I always respect people like that. He's like, hey, I am a mercenary. This is a business. I'm going to sign 1-year deals. I'm going to get paid top dollar every single year because I'm the best at my craft, and you're going to like it. That is also like the contracts that he had with the Jets, the Bucks, and the Patriots were just absolute. Like it should be a masterclass. Like him and his agent, actually primarily him. Like he was doing quite a bit of his own work. Was just it's all how all top flight cornerbacks should do it, and also the fact that he's got the balls to do that, and also he's got the fortitude to back it up year in and year out for the better part, for a decade plus. He was the best cornerback in all of football, and it wasn't particularly close. You have to respect that, right? He wasn't the guy who secured the bag, bank account caught the Holy Ghost, and all of a sudden you just gain some weight and say that, oh, man to man, that's too tough for me. Got to sit in zone. Do that. Yeah, it's a Revis for me. Preacher Paul, Holland. It's a shame that his career was wasted with the Jets. Just adding fuel to the dumbest rivalry in sports history. Preacher Paul, Holland for Alia. He's going there with Kirky, Rudy, Hunter. I'm a conservative with a bodyguard. Wait, so like the bodyguard, like a 38 special pistol, or like or revolver, or like a bodyguard like Suge Knight, who probably has his own pistol. Little known perfection. With everything known about head injuries, would you let your kid play football? Because as someone who's played football my whole life, I can personally attest to the harm it can do. I'm barely 20. I already have misaligned disc and memory issues, but I still let my kids play. It's tough for me because obviously there are tons of benefits coming in football. You learn discipline, you learn teamwork, you learn the appreciation for hard work, as well as sometimes you get smacked, right? And I will say, for the people who are fearful about their kids playing football, it's the safest time to ever play the game. With so much attention and so much being researched and information available about traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, I think that changing of the rules, changing of equipment, improvement in technology, this is honestly not even close. The safest time to ever play the sport. Think about like playing in the 50s or the 70s or even the 90s, right? Remember as a kid, there was a big thing about like Chris Dolman and John Randall before the game would just like get together and like smash their helmets like they're a bunch of like braying rams up on a mountainside, just getting after it, just like 5 times. They're like, and then you're like, oh, as a kid, I was like, oh, that was so awesome. And then now not so much. So I'm comfortable with my kid playing football, but also if it's not his thing, it's not his thing. That's fine. It's like it runs. So my girl is getting into martial arts and jiu-jitsu, and then I forget who asked it, but someone asked, like, would you let your daughter fight MMA or UFC or whatever? And I'm just like, if she's good at it, yes, because there would be nothing worse than to have your daughter just be up like. Say there's 32 fighters in the division, just let's say, and she's 32. That would not be a good time. Well, A, she'd probably get cut, but also she'd just get her ass beat. No, ain't doing that. David Knight, $2 in super chat. Love the work, keep it up. Love you, man. So yeah, if the kid is into football, absolutely. If he's good at football, great, yes. And also, you do have to vet your coaches, especially in youth football. Because I coached youth for a couple of seasons, and it was a great time. But, of course, time is a valuable commodity, especially during the fall and football season, so just kind of got out of it. Would love to get back into it again, like when my kid gets of age. And you will find – so I worked with 4th and 5th graders. You'll find that some of those dudes are just trying to make it like it's the Super Bowl every single Sunday. You know the type. Whereas if you have chill dudes who you see it for what it is, like – kids want to hang out with their friends. They want to play this sport. And if you can impart some wisdom, if you can impart in good technique, as well as start teaching them some of the basics, like whole numbering, like responsibilities, like terminology, like concepts, like this and that, where it's not overwhelming, but it's a good introduction. I mean, that should be the goal of every youth football coach. But some of these guys, they want to turn everything into an Oklahoma drill. It's like, oh, we got to win the Rose Bowl. It's like, bitch, your team is Pete's Pizza, and you're 2-6, and you're playing out the string. But yes, I would let my kid play. Oakview, and you're gonna be really ready potentially over a decade of Jefferson versus Okudah. Could be a legendary matchup for the history books if they remain top receivers and defensive backs during the time. To be honest, I got Tossin Kendricks for sure. Dalvin Barr, Michael Pierce, Daniil. I'm. All right, so I'm worried about Michael Pierce. He already had weight issues, but now he's got a year off. That is in the back of my mind. But that sounds like a fun Vegas crew. Jefferson versus Okudah, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. Or Jefferson, Jalen Johnson, Jefferson, Jair Alexander. Get it on. Let's go. As well as El Jefe, as well as Cameron Dantzler versus Babytron. And that is it. That's the only other good wide receiver in the NFC North Division who's not on the Vikings. Face. Hunter Williams, what's up? Skull from Forest City, Iowa. What's up? On my Vikings list, players out of Vegas would be Cousins as the dealer, Harrison Hunter, Dalvin Cook as the poker players, Shamar Stephen, Jalen Holmes, keepers with hookers. Yeah, man. I say different strokes for different folks, but Dom Capers as a hooker? Nah. Luke K., if you had to choose a place to go to college right now, where would you go? I actually don't even know if I would go to college. I wouldn't because, so I have a degree in economics and finance, and I can't say like one for one I've used it in my day jobs or in the businesses I've started or obviously here. I guess it does help from the economic side because you do learn, what causes what to a degree, like causation, correlation, all that stuff. But I don't know, like especially a lot of the fluff classes, like I would actually go to a trade school. I would, and I would recommend that for my kids as well as some other kids. Like if you don't know exactly what you want to do, going to college, like if you don't have a path of, hey, I want to be an engineer. Hey, I want to be a doctor. Hey, I want to be an educator. Hey, I want to be this or that. If you're just going to school just to go to school, I wouldn't do it. Especially if you're taking out debt or if your parents are footing the bill, like that. Don't waste your parents' money. Just don't do that. And get a viable trade. Like get something that's actually tangible, something that will survive the test of time. Like we're always going to need welders. We're always going to need electricians. We're always going to need. You can get an associate's degree in accounting. That'll always be valuable. Like if you really don't know what you're going to do, like don't go $100,000 in the hole just to find yourself, because chances are 4 years from now you're just going to be a little bit jaded and probably have chlamydia. That is all. But yeah, get yourself something that you can always rely on for a solid paycheck. Yeah, do that up. It's also my. I don't know. This could turn into a whole other thing. Let's hear. What's your three top underrated movies? Man, wish I had time to think about this. The A-Team. So the A-Team with Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, Charlito Copley, as well as Quentin Rampage Jackson. It's a funny, great action movie. There should be a sequel. They didn't have enough box office to potentially give a sequel, but that was a great movie. The Alamo. So The Alamo with Billy Bob Thornton. He's Davy Crockett. That one trashed at the box office, but it's really good, as well as in terms of historical movies, it's relatively accurate. Then also, what's another underrated movie? I can't not watch The Patriot with Mel Gibson, except I feel like that's properly rated. I was going to say Last Samurai, except people generally like that one. All right, so the movie SWAT with Colin Farrell, Samuel L. Jackson, I forget his name. He's the bad guy. LL Cool J, where it is just a really dumb, straightforward action movie, and it's just good. Like, everything's cliched. So The Town is one of my all-time favorite movies. Frankly, I don't think it gets the time of day in the pantheon of other great movies, but The Town is good. Like, I'm in on basically any heist movie, as well as I think Ben Affleck is really underrated as a director. I think he does really good work. I mean, this was good. As well as, yeah, Jeremy Renner. That was the name. Stupid Hawkeye and a stupid bow. That was the guy. All right, so... All right, two more. Kirk does better with or without fans this season. On the road, he does much better. I think there'll be fans at all. I think at some point there may be fans at US Next Sam. But going forward, does this really how the country react? Every virus and flu, shut down the economy, business, go out, wear a mask, don't do this, don't do that. Just feels like it's all over the election. Well, I will say that it's not about the election. And also, I feel like, the 24/7 news cycle with social media, I feel like people are just getting inundated with information 24/7. Sometimes it's bad information. And I think there's a lot of emotional manipulation going on. But, yeah, it be what it be. Charlie Boltman, who's going to be that dude in the NFL who absolutely goes off this year without the pressure of fans in the crowd, then returns back to average once fills up next year? Let's call this the TJ Warren effect. So, yeah, this is they call them Thursday All-Americans, where they just look really good in that final practice. Just like when the lights come on, they just really shrivel. I think Kirk Cousins could actually be one of those dudes where, Kirk is perfectly fine as a top 8 to 10-ish quarterback with the full crowds. His record is what it is on the road. His record is what it is against good teams. And I think that he could really benefit, especially some of those road games. You look at Indy, you look at Texans, you look at the Bucks, you look at Packers, you look at Seattle. I think that he could just go in there. All of a sudden, there isn't a crowd braying at him, and then all of a sudden he's just like lights out. Kirk Cousins, he's the opposite of Kyle Sluter. He's a phenomenal practice player. I think he could do that. Also, I feel like will be an interesting split. So take some of the premier pass rushers around the league. I do not include Danielle Hunter in this category, where they obviously do better at home than they do on the road. And one of the big factors is crowd noise, right? So able to get off as the other team is dealing with noise, usually operating on silent count. Generally, those tackles are going to be just a step slower, and also guys feed off that energy. Jared Allen is a big one of those guys, right? And I could see where there's a stark drop-off between home production, both in pressures and sacks, with crowds versus without crowds. Whereas Danielle Hunter, I think, will get 30 sacks. I don't think he cares. He's Honey Badger. Don't give an F. There you go. All right, so that is it. That is it for Wednesday's Jerome's live stream. Thanks everyone for coming along. Tomorrow we'll be back 11 a.m. Central Time. If you want to support the work, purplefdw.com/support. Go check that out. It's the first link in the description. Producer Allie, we just recompiled all of our sponsors, all of our list of ways that you can support us while supporting yourself. A couple great discounts on there, both from Onnit, both from Lisa Mattress. It's good times. Check that out and go win the day. Thank you very much for coming along. We'll see you tomorrow. Skull, production value.